This is intended as a quick little video by request to show how to do some basic testing to determine if a ignition coil is good or not. Now there are sophisticated ignition or coil testers that dealers have that will do a little bit more thorough job than what I'm going to demonstrate today, but this will at least give you an idea whether your coil is serviceable or not. This is one of the original coils off a Yamaha YL1. The numbers I'm going to share with you are fairly specific to this series of Yamahas. Other coils might have different specifications, so just be aware of that. So you just need a coil, and you'll need the meter. This is a simple multimeter. We are going to use the ohm scale, which is right here. I think you can see that. That's the scale we are going to be using for this test. There's three fundamental tests that we're going to be conducting. First, a little explanation on the coil nomenclature. On each side, you'll notice you have two terminals. Those are the primary terminals, and there's a positive and a negative, and let's see if I can get that for you in picture. See that positive or plus sign right there? So this is the positive terminal, and on the other side, though it's a little bit obscured from time and where, you can see the negative. So this right here is the negative terminal. The center terminal is called the secondary high voltage, or just secondary terminal. This is the spark plug lead that comes from the spark plug to the coil. Again, there's three tests that we're going to make. So I'm going to turn my meter to the ohm scale, like you can see right there. And you'll notice the reading is zeros, which means there is no continuity here whatsoever. If I ground these two leads together, the positive and the negative, watch what happens to the meter. That's a dead short. That's showing you that the meter is reading a dead short or a complete connection. First thing we're going to test for is ohms between the two primary terminals. That's the positive and the negative. And we're going to check to see what kind of ohms are reading there. On this particular coil, it should be around 5 ohms or so between these two coils. The continuity in terms of which lead you use on which terminal does not make any difference. But we're going to watch the meter now as I connect between the positive and the negative. And we should have approximately 5 ohms. And let's see where this comes out to. So it's 4.7-ish, which is perfectly fine. That's an approximate number. That tells me that that initial test passed. Again, I'm looking for approximately 5 ohms. I ended up with 4.7, 4.8, something like that, which I'm happy with. First test is passed. The second test we're going to make is we're going to test between the secondary, that's the center lead, and each of the primary leads. And what we're looking for in this test is between 5,000 and 11,000 ohms. So I'm going to start with this terminal. Again, just ground it out, connect here to the secondary wire, and we're looking for at least 5,000 ohms. That'd be the minimum. And we're at 7.88, so we're above 5,000. I don't know if you can see the K right there. K is the indicator, mathematical indicator for 1,000. And there's a K that popped up, which tells me that's reading. It's an auto-ranging meter, by the way, so that automatically accommodates the test results. We're going to do the same thing to this terminal. Again, a minimum of 5,000. 7.88 or 7,800 K. So we're well above 5,000 ohms on both of these, so the coil passed those two tests. The last test we're going to conduct is to check for a short between the body of the coil and the secondary high voltage lead right here. You need a bare spot, no paint. You got to have a good clean connection to the coil body. You'll note that my meter is already defaulting to M right there, or it's going to measure in millions of ohms. That's just the default of the meter because it's auto ranging. But we're going to just do a test here to see if there's any short. We need a minimum of 3 million ohms in this test. Minimum of 3 million. Let's see if we can't get a good connection here and here. See what our meter tells us. So we're running around 9. It's ranging down a little bit. Again, you want a minimum of 3 million. And you can see it's well above 3 million as it's ranging a little bit. So we have completed all 3 tests, and this coil passed all 3 tests. That is, between the primary terminals, each of the primaries and the secondary terminal, and between the case and the secondary terminal. All 3 passed the minimums expected for this particular type of coil. I hope that was helpful to you. Any questions, drop me a note.